Yo gang, what's up? Happy Valentine's. It's episode 7, so there's 32 days left. Oh my god, bro. I've been literally like laying in bed, like unable to sleep, fucking anxious, mind racing, thinking about what's gonna happen. I remember literally fucking yesterday, right, when I was having dinner. Because on Thursday and Friday I skipped school to stay at home to work. And then I remember my dad, he literally stood up. Because I was just, making some shitty excuse. I'm not feeling well, I'm having diarrhea or some shit. And then he stood up, right? And then he was like, remember you have A levels, right? And I was like, are you trying to scare me? And then he laughed and shit, but bro, I know shit's gonna get wild, bro. Shit's gonna get wild. So, just a quick update. I am probably gonna make. I'm definitely gonna hit my goal, hopefully, right? So I have probably about 9. This coming in, I probably have an extra, like 600 from Melissa. I will have another row as well, so that would be about this, and I probably have. I have another $1,000 coming in, so I'm going to hit about 10k this month, hopefully. And look at this shit. I think it's really all about standards. I think I mentioned this so many times. I like people fucking printing with info now, bro. Like, hold on. Look at this guy. He's like 20 years old, bro, and he's like making 70k, he's traveling the world, having so much fun. And 2 days ago, right, I was like in my room, I couldn't sleep again, and I just put out YouTube, and I was watching this guy and this other guy called Julian. This guy, bro. Look at this guy, bro. Like, he has the craziest shit. Like, there's so many levels to this, and I'm so excited to be free in a sense, but also really nervous. And one really interesting that I noticed is that all of these people, right, they kind of went through the same thing that I'm about to go through. So perhaps it's like a selection criteria, or like just a price to pay, right? Just the price of business, I guess. So that's given me some sort of relief. And one other thing that I've noticed is I think I kind of found, like, I wouldn't say limit because I know I can push myself, but I think the standard for how hard I can work. So what happened is, over here, this is the last actual break I took. Or was it like here? I think this was the last actual break I took. Right, so from 25th all the way to 13th. I remember very clearly on Tuesday I started feeling like shit, like really dog shit. And I worked for Wednesday as well, Thursday and Friday, and then these days I worked until like 7:30 plus. So my output was also dropping. And this morning, right, over here I was really feeling like shit. I slept until 5. So it's like it slowly starts to crumble. And then up here I had so much resistance. And then I just rest, man. Like, I just had to rest. My troughs weren't as bad as before, but right now what I tend to do is I'll just like pull up a couple of movies. I watch like The Lone Survivor. I don't know, I've been really into fucking army movies recently. They make me really hype. And I just watched David Goggins training with this guy. Oh, what's his name, bro? I don't spell it wrongly. There. Bro, he's a killer, man. I want to train with Goggins one day, bro. I will train with Goggins one day. Really cool. Okay. And it's really funny because I feel like the only thing I know how to actually do is work. And yeah, right, I have fun, all of that. You should see us when we're on immersion. But other than that, I don't really have anything to do. So it feels like everything I default back to is just the work. Which is a little scowl, honestly, now that I think about it. But like, bro, it's like you can't do two things well, man. Like, I always thought, I remember, I think when I was Sec 2 or Sec 3, I was like, bro, I'm going to be the guy that is printing like 10k a month, and then also getting 90 plus for school, and also doing well in this and that, having roles here and there. It's just really hard, man, unless you have like a very, very strong fundamental, right? And at that point in time, I remember my studying technique at that point in time, or like throughout, I would say P1 all the way to Sec 2, Sec 3 honestly, is it's all volume. Like that's how I used to beat people. It's just volume, like 6-7 test papers in a day. I remember that's what I did when I was in P6. And just through pure volume, I got like 90 plus, 80 plus, right? And then Sec 4, Sec 3, Sec 4, I was focusing more on the business. I scaled it up to like, 5, 8K, all of that, close to 10K. And at that point in time, I was starting to learn studying techniques from this guy called Justin Sung. And that's when I really cut down on my studying time. So, funny story is that for J1, right, my grades were like, I think it's like B, 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 D or some shit. I spent like 10 hours studying for each subject. Except for fucking CSC, bro. But that shit is useless, bro. Bro, I studied so much for that. I spent like, I think, at least 20 to 30 hours studying for that shit. And I got fucking D, bro. Whatever. That shit is useless anyways. But for math, I remember just taking like an hour plus for each topic. Sitting for it. And funny enough, I got like 67 or 8, I think. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter that much. Anyways, something that I really want to learn right now is learning how to rest. I think that's something that's really overlooked. And if you look at how like the top performers, top bodybuilders, whatever domain you are, they prioritize recovery so much. Like we get this with bodybuilding, right? Like if you train or you go to the gym, then you have to take a rest day. But when it comes to like doing actual work, people don't talk about resting, right? It's all about pushing, keep grinding, all of that. And I mean, I've tried doing that, but what tends to happen is just you get to a point whereby you're so tired, you just numb yourself, and you're like, okay, nah, fuck it. I'm not going to do the work anymore. And that's what happened to me a lot at the start. And it's also kind of happening to me, like, exactly right now, actually. So, I think learning how to rest is very important. So, I've written out a couple of things. You can see here. This is me doing my brainstorming. So, from tomorrow onwards, I'm going to set, like, a couple of strict standards, rules for myself, which is I have to stop work at 5 p.m. sharp. I thought, Alex Hormozi says open to go, right? Just work until you get the shit done. What happened is I did that for the last 2 days, and the output towards the end of the day is very, very shit. And at the same time, it drains a lot of energy from you. And it makes me sleep even later, which then drains more energy. So that's what I'm going to do. Stop work at 5 p.m. sharp. I need to prep for bed by 7:30 p.m. I've been doing my affirmations about me being an elite sleeper, being able to sleep well. But for now, I think it's just going to be something that I'm going to struggle with, probably till I actually do the thing, like drop out. Because right now, it's just survival mode, right? It's just me trying to collect enough cash so that I dip. It's very, very short term. So my brain, and I don't have any emergency funds, right? Literally, if this fails, I'm probably going to have to work like in McDonald's or some shit. So I guess it's normal right now. It's what the goal requires of me. So I can't complain that much. And the third thing I think is I noticed that when I rush a lot, or like when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, let's fucking go, and then we rush through everything, that's when I drain more energy as well. So what I want to try the next week, I mean there's Chinese New Year, which is great, probably the following week, is I'm going to try and take things a little slower. Yes, my productivity will probably drop by a bit, but that should allow me to sustain, the same pace for a longer period of time, which is all that matters, right? The point of having discipline is because discipline is a vehicle to achieve consistency. Like that's the only point of discipline. And consistency is all that matters when it comes to achieving what you want to achieve. So, yeah, man. That's it. So I also want to increase my estimate for each task by 15%. What tends to happen is things take way longer than I thought they will. So like this guy's email is going to spam, right? And I thought it's like, okay, pretty simple, just do spam checker. But turns out it's a lot more things. And it took like until 7:45. And I was looking at my calendar, I was like, fuck, I'm supposed to be doing short form content. I'm supposed to be learning short form content right now. And I felt very frustrated as well from the lack of sleep yesterday. My body has been complaining for me to stop working since Tuesday, but I've continued working. I really pushed myself in the gym, bro. But this is so cool as well. Like, you can really find out your limits with this. Like, whenever your body tells you, bro, I'm really tired, please, 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 I don't want to do this anymore, then you give it fucking double. I remember I was on a pull-up bar, and I was doing like I had a 10 kg, 12 kg weight on my back, right? And then you do pull-ups, weighted pull-ups essentially. And I was doing one set, and then my body was like, bro, why are you doing this to yourself, bro? Get down, get down. And I was like, fuck you, I'm going to do double. And after I did that, I was so happy. It's quite funny actually, how much you can push yourself, which is why I want to train with Goggins. So Goggins, I'm coming for you. I really want to train with you sometime in the future, hopefully. So right now, what I'm going to do for the rest of the day is probably just fuck. Like, a part of me also really wants to continue working, but at the same time, there's so much resistance to working. So I don't know whether I'm being a pussy. Maybe I am. Yeah, man, maybe I am. Maybe I am. Maybe this is how I'm procrastinating now, right? Because I don't do the bad habits that I used to do anymore. But it's basically a lot of shit for me to do right now. Like, there's so many clients, so many opportunities, which is a great thing. I'm not complaining. Just school is just really getting in the way, man. And once I have this shit out of the way, bro, I'm gonna start printing. This is how people like fucking B-Res, right? Go from 0 to like millionaire in less than 2 years, bro. It's just pure focus work, man. And when you have school, guess what, right? The focus, you no longer have that laser-like focus, and so you can't cut through glass, and it takes way longer, way longer. That's basically it. I'm physically in pain, bro, every single day. I'm not hitting that number. And every time I see that number, I feel disgusted, bro. Like, how am I not making fucking 10? At least 10 a month. So let's see how it goes. I'm honestly pretty scared. I have no idea what will happen. And the reason I'm documenting all of this, even though it's cringe, even though nobody watches, is because look at what Iman did, bruh. Let me show you guys. This guy, right now, even though his course is a huge scam, right? His shit is like, it doesn't work, I think, based on what most people say. And he removed his whatever course he's selling. It's because he started documenting his shit since he was 16, right? And then he just released a whole ass documentary about it, and that just creates so much social proof, and it's just really inspirational, man. Like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but you know, I've been thinking a lot about the safe path. Just walking the safe path, you know, living a decent life, having, you know, a wife and 2 kids, making about 6 figures a year, working a 9 to 5 with a boss that you hate, but you get the job anyways because that pays your bills, right? And I'm not saying that is wrong. I think it's very noble to do that as well, to support your family, you know, to give all you have for them, like my mom and dad. I think they're amazing parents. But I really don't want that life. And my parents always talk about, you know, having a safe option, a safety net to fall upon in case things go wrong. But I want to throw myself in the trenches, man. Like, I think that I'd rather live an epic life with a shitload of stories to tell and die at 30 than live a normal life and die at 90 and be forgotten and have no stories to tell to leave for my future generations. I think that's a wasted life. Now that might sound really unconventional, but at least that's what I think, right? From my perspective. My very limited perspective, actually. So let's just take it slow. Let's do it one step at a time. And in the future, I'm going to be printing like Iman. Watch him, I'm going to be printing like this guy. Bro, he's come so far, bro. He's come so far. You know, that's kind of the dream, right? You own something, and then, you know, you have team members that are like your best mates and shit, and then travel around the world, spend like fucking 100K on a resort just because you want to, right? Treat your girl to nice things whenever whenever you feel like it. buy like fucking 50K resort for your parents, let them stay there for like, I don't know, 2 months, because you know I've been talking about wanting to travel to that country for a long time. Ordering appetizers at restaurants, that's a huge one. That's a huge one, right? I remember, since when I was a child, right, I'll go to like restaurants and then it'd be like appetizers, and then my dad would be like, nah, don't order that. It's always a waste of money. So, and right now when I look at appetizers, like $5, like who's gonna pay $5 for, you know, a bunch of red dates or some shit? Just imagine, right, being able to just literally just pick whatever you want from the menu without even thinking about price. Like buying something without even thinking about the price tag. That'd be mad, bruh. That'd be mad. And then just traveling, you know, doing what you actually want, right? There's so many desires that I have right now. So many desires, man. And I guess the only currency I have to bargain with the universe is pain that comes from doing the work that I know I should be doing, but I don't want to do. So that's that. It's been a pretty long video. It's approaching, bro, it's like less than 1 month before I break the news to my parents. I'm gonna do like a, what do you call it? What should I call it? The sign off. The sign off. Like goodbye to Hua Chong or some shit. I'll record like my last day in school. I'll post it here. I think it's pretty cool. You know, to look back on this, especially since I have quite a bit of fun in school, just trolling around, acting weird, acting gay, which is quite a fun thing to do actually. Yeah, so that's all from me. I'm gonna get some money as well from Chinese New Year, which is a great thing, and see you guys in the next video.